This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Hazleton's Lou Barletta was sworn into the United States Congress for the fourth time. All of that story and so much more next. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for your time. I'm Ken Kara, and this is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information. Remember, Service Electric Cablevision viewers, you can watch us in HD on channel 513. Now to our headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Today, Samsung Productions and SSPTV are celebrating a milestone on this date, January 4th of 1994. The very first broadcast of Local News 13 aired on Service Electric Cablevision, channel 13 in the greater Hazleton area. It is the news division of Samsung Productions. Local News 13 was just the tip of the iceberg, with many local shows to follow, shows that continue to be locally produced right here at our studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And the Lasan family and the entire SSPTV team is proud to continue to provide you, our viewers, with the latest news and information, along with our media partner, the Hazleton Standard Speaker, each night now under the banner of SSPTV News. And we are now seen in high definition, as I mentioned, on channel 513, as well as at ssptv.com and facebook.com/ssptv news. Today's anniversary also coincides with the birthday of the president of Samsung Productions, Deb Lasan. So we have a double reason to celebrate, so happy birthday all around. In other news, members of the United States Congress were officially sworn in yesterday in our nation's capital. Among those taking the oath of office was Congressman Lou Barletta. Barletta won re-election in November, defeating former Hazleton Mayor Michael Marsicano. Barletta, who supported President-elect Donald Trump during the presidential campaign, turned down the opportunity to serve in the new president's cabinet. Instead, he decided to return to Washington for his fourth term in the House of Representatives. The congressman will talk about his decision to stay in Congress and Congress's rocky start tomorrow here on SSPTV News. Also taking place yesterday, members of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives were sworn in for the 2017-18 legislative session. Among those taking the oaths of office in Harrisburg were State Representative Tara Toohill, who represents the 116th Legislative District. She begins her fourth term in the state legislature. Representative Jerry Knowles, who represents the 124th District, also took the oath of office for his fifth term, and Representative Jared Mullery also began his fourth term in office. Mullery represents the 119th Legislative District. The Schuylkill County Commissioners held their first meeting of 2017 yesterday. During that session, they passed the meeting schedule for the new year and adopted the rules of order as part of the annual reorganizational session. The three-member board consists of Commissioner Chair George Halkovich Jr. and Commissioners Frank Stoudemire and Gary Hess. Hess is the sole Democrat. Issues they hope to address in the new year are the county prison population, funding for human services, along with economic development and jobs. A reorganizational meeting was held yesterday in Butler Township. During that meeting, township supervisors voted to hire patrolwoman Paige Colsa. They also promoted 2 police officers, Brian Zalutko to lieutenant and Robert Breithop to corporal. Yesterday's hiring brings the police department to 10 members. As a result of the reorganizational meeting, Brian Kissenweather remains supervisor chairman, and Charles Ottmiller as vice chair, and Dr. Frank Polidora as secretary treasurer. The Hazleton Area School Board recently reorganized. The new board president is not new to the office. She served in that capacity several years ago. Lisa Shugart sat down with Marie Kay to talk about her goals for educating the students in the local district.
I'm pleased to welcome to our studios today Marie Kay. She is the new president of the Hazleton Area School Board. But I say new, but not really. That's because she served on the school board back in 1999 to 2003 and served as the president in 2000. And now she's in the midst of her latest term on the school board, the second year of her 4-year term. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here, and I think that we have a lot of positive things coming down the pike for the school district in this coming year.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, we were talking a little bit before. You've been here before, so how does it compare? Is it different from the first time you were on the board?
It's a little bit different. You know, we have the experience behind us, some of us that have been on, and myself being the past president, I didn't have to learn everything going forward. So I did have some of my own ideas coming on, and so it was easier for me to put things into place right from the beginning.
Very good. And I asked you, did you have any, new goals or new ideas for the board? You said, yep, and some of them are already in place.
Some of them are in place. The first thing I did was create liaisons for each of the schools. I had heard from staff about they didn't know if they could approach board members, if they could speak to us, and things like that. So each school has liaisons, and I've asked the board members who have those schools to walk through, talk to the staff, see if there's any problems, that they would need to bring back to us. And it will just create a sense of the board caring about each and every employee that's in this district.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. So everybody's being on the same page and in the same loop.
Correct, right. And so if there is something, we all have jobs, so we can't be in the schools, nor should we be. So if there is a problem, sometimes it gets to us really late, and it would have been nice to have had some of the issues brought to us, earlier, so we could have taken care of them sooner than we did.
Okay. Another change you said that you are implementing is a little change involving the committee meetings that are always held prior to the actual school board meetings.
Yes, the committee meetings seemed to be very long, all on one night, and then whoever was last that night, Mr. John did a very fair job about rotating them, but whoever was last, or if there were people who came to speak to us, they seemed to have gotten lost towards the end. So I've broken the committees into 2 nights, and then went back to the work session where you could ask questions and everything will be discussed right before the voting meeting. So it'll go from the work session right into the voting meeting.
So if the public has questions or concerns, they can show up early to come for the work session, ask their questions there, or they can wait and ask them if they're on the agenda at the meeting itself.
Yeah, the work session will be more for the board members to ask questions if they weren't able to attend one of the committee meetings, so that no one feels left out. But the public definitely asks questions on agenda items before the meeting. And then if there's a non-agenda item after the meeting, that's when we hear those questions that people have.
All right, sounds good. So there are some changes already being put into place. Is there anything else you're looking to change, or just kind of getting your feet wet now and starting the budget process up?
I think for now, they will be the only changes, except for, yes, we're going to start the budget talks. We're going to start looking into some things that will make it easier for us, instead of having to wait until the last minute and then try to figure out how we're going to balance our budget. So we've all been committed to working really hard to balance the budget earlier, and we have had meetings and we have had discussions about what we can do to alleviate, some of the issues that we had last year. So hopefully we'll be in a better position this year.
All right, and we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about some of the issues impacting the budget. Maria is going to come back and talk to us again, so we'll have that for you as well to try to keep you informed as to what's happening in the Hazleton Area School District.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. Still to come on SSPTV News, another great Wild Bout Hunting segment. And in sports, we have highlights and reaction from a Schuylkill League showdown between Marion and Shenandoah Valley. Plus, the Standard Speaker's Dave Seaman will look back on the Rose Bowl.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Nice. Hey, welcome to this week's segment of Wild Bout Hunting, folks, and Happy New Year. It's hard to believe that it is 2017 and 2016 is already behind us. And what an amazing first season we had here at Wild Bout Hunting, and we can't thank everybody enough. From all of our sponsors and our partners, to our families and friends, to the networks that we aired on in our first season, Hunt Channel, and right here in our hometown with Samsung Productions, SSPTV. And we're excited for season 2. It is here. We are getting ready to air starting again in April of 2017 with our second season. It's called Share the Passion. And what we want to do today is just bring you a little sneak peek with the first half of our Season 2 sizzle reel and just give you a little taste of what you can expect with some of the shows that we're going to offer. So let's get right to it.
Guess he's a little faster.
Tammy Moomey! He's going on a turkey hunt!
Well, hey, I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek of Season 2 and what's to come. And if you have a question or you want us to do something or go and hunt for an animal or a species or do something different this coming season of filming, email us at info@wildaboutHunting.com or private message us on our Facebook page and let us know what you're looking for from Wild About Hunting, because we love to hear from you, we love the feedback, and that just makes us better at what we do, have more fun doing it, and make sure that we're bringing to you what you're looking to find with Wild About Hunting. We'll see you next week somewhere in the hunting woods.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Windy and gray today, but pretty dry around the area. We may see some snow tomorrow night, but not too much. Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. We do have a hazardous weather outlook for tonight, as we could see wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and snow showers. Our low will be 17 degrees. Thursday looks mostly cloudy with a high in the mid-20s, wind from 10 to 13 miles per hour. Thursday night, 40% chance of snow showers, cloudy, low of 17, new snow accumulation of less than 1 inch possible. Friday, we have a chance of snow showers, 30% chance, partly sunny, high of 25. Friday night, we'll get down to 12 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 21. At night, we're down to 11 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 20. And then Sunday night, partly cloudy, low of 10 degrees. Lottery numbers up on SSPTV News right now. Pick 293, pick 3082, pick 43420, and pick 553641. We have an extended Dave Day with the Standard Speaker's Dave Seaman after this break.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
It's the first Dave Day of the new year, and it's a big one. Let's welcome back Dave Seaman, the sports editor at the Standard Speaker. And Dave, local basketball really heating up as we get into the conference seasons. And wow, Division III of the Schuylkill League, as exciting as I think as we talked about before the season, Marion, they get a big victory over Shenandoah Valley, winning 52-42. That moves the Colts to 2-0 in Division III and drops Shenandoah to 0-2. And Dave, Marion just played smart in this one. Not a ton of turnovers. Didn't give Shenandoah Valley and their dynamic players Joel Santana and Jermaine McNeil a bunch of second chances. They made their free throws, and they have a player, Brandon Muhammad, who did things like this. Check out this block. He finished with 16 points. I was also impressed with Noah Stauffer, who tossed in 10 for Marion, and Anthony Colavecchio, who made some great hustle plays when the game was tight in the third quarter, and he caused some key turnovers. And after the game, I talked with Brandon Muhammad and head coach John Patton.
After that first half, you got to handle with an arm's length. What are you talking about in the locker room? What's going through at halftime?
We just did a great job in the first half closing out on all the shooters. They couldn't really get much going offensively. I mean, it was a still close game, but we managed to keep it close and come out with a win at the end.
Yeah, what really turned it on that second half there? You guys didn't seem like you made a lot of mistakes. I mean, and you seemed very calm throughout the whole game.
Yeah, we got a couple of early buckets that kind of motivated us to keep on going, pushing forward, and we did a great job capitalizing and closing out the whole game.
We basically made sure that we covered Joel and Jermaine. I mean, you can't leave them open. They are that good. The problem there is when you play them that tight of defense and they get inside, they really create problems. We were able to stay out of foul trouble early, but then Brandon picked up, he ended up with 4. But that was the key. The key was trying to stay out of foul trouble early and, make some people take shots. They hit some guys hit a couple threes and you have to live with it, but you can't take away everything. I mean, they are so good and they're so, they're so well coached that you know that they're going to get a good shot every possession. You have to hope that the ones that they don't make, you get the rebound on.
Dave, Joel Santana did finish. He led all scorers with 22 points. And no rest for Marion as they get ready for undefeated Monoy area on Friday night. We were talking about Marion, and you mentioned the word consistency.
Yeah, Coach Patton talked about that before the season. That they've had some big wins in the past. I believe last year they beat Shenandoah Valley as well, but they weren't able to sustain that. Now, they had some injuries last year. Brandon Muhammad was injured for a good portion of last year, especially towards the end of the season, so that kind of impacted the Colts a lot. But over the last several seasons, Marion hasn't had that consistency that you need to move forward into the playoffs. This year it was a big win on Tuesday night against the Blue Devils, but now Marion got to build on that, and it's another tough game coming up on Friday night against another rival in Mono area.
And the Mono area girls, Dave, also undefeated, and they'll go up against the Marion Catholic girls this weekend, so it's going to be very exciting. Follow the Standard Speaker for all of those results. Jimmy Hoffman and Hazelton Area Wrestling, another big tournament. It was the Bethlehem Holiday Wrestling Classic, and he wins gold at 138 pounds. Dave, what's the buzz around him and the program as they keep making a ton of headlines?
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffman had a fabulous tournament. He was under consideration, from what I read, for the outstanding wrestler in the tournament. Beat some really top-notch wrestlers along the way, some state-ranked wrestlers. Of course, Jimmy's a state-ranked wrestler himself, coming off a runner-up finish at the state tournament last year, and he really had his way with his opponents in Bethlehem, and that's always one of the most prestigious tournaments statewide. Going into the Wild Valley Conference Championships this week, he's going to be favored in his weight class, 138 pounds, but he has a lot of teammates that are also expected to do very well at Lake Lehman this weekend.
The Rose Bowl game, 52-49, USC beats Penn State. What a game, Dave, and it seemed like the Nittany Lions were going to do it again. Second half team, make that comeback, but USC makes a comeback of their own to get the victory. Dave, 3 things I was impressed with. USC's receivers, Juju Schuster-Smith, I mean, he saved the game in my opinion. It was 3rd and 10 for USC. Penn State had all the momentum. The ball's up in the air. It was deflected, and I thought, incomplete pass. They're punting. Penn State has this. He comes up with it, then makes a great catch down the sideline that sets up the touchdown. That brought them within 7. When they tied the game, there was all those pass interference penalties, but it took a great quarterback performance, too, to make the throws to those receivers.
Yeah, you have to be impressed with Sam Darnold, the quarterback for USC. It certainly didn't look like a freshman quarterback out there. They said USC, was struggling early in the season. They put him in the game, and it's just one of those athletes you can tell, like the other older, more experienced athletes gravitate toward him. Of course, they see the talent that he has and his pinpoint accuracy, ability to elude on rushing defenders. And Penn State didn't have a sack. I read an interesting stat that Penn State didn't have sacks in 3 games this year. Pitt, Michigan, and USC, and ironically enough, they're the 3 games Penn State lost.
And Dave, as for Penn State, a healthy Saquon Barkley, we talked about it in the home stretch for Penn State. I said, he looks banged up, and I know people were keying on him, but he just didn't look like the same running back toward the end of the season. He was still getting his yards and making touchdowns, but in this game, you saw just how dynamic this kid is. If you forgot from early in the season or last season, excited about that. Now Penn State has the whole offseason, Dave, and sometimes we read too much into these bowl games, but I think with both of these teams, if Penn State could learn to play a complete game, if they could limit turnovers, the USC and Penn State could be national title contenders next year.
There is no doubt about it. I think, again, using this as motivation, they saw what it took to get there, but it's not going to be easy. Next year, teams will be gunning for them. They're going to know a little bit more how to defend Chris Godwin. They're going to key more on McSorley and look at his tendencies. Sometimes he does force the ball in there, and I think Trace has to learn from that as well. I mean, there are a couple passes, yeah, you live by it, but then again, you have to die by it too. And he tried to make one too many passes at the end. And, credit to him for trying, credit to Coach Moorhead and Coach Franklin for having the confidence to live with that offense. But unfortunately, if you're a Penn State fan, you have to die with it and suffer the consequences. But you can't take away from what a fabulous season it was.
So that's it for Dave Day this week. Remember, big weekend of high school basketball and wrestling coming up. Wyoming Valley Conference Championships. Read all about it in the Standard Speaker.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday to Debbie Lassant. Love from your family, friends, and all of us here at SSPTV. And one quick announcement in our Talk of the Town report, the Tamaqua Community Arts Center will be holding a Paint and Sip fundraiser for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America. The event will be held Saturday, January 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Tamaqua Community Arts Center located at 125 Pine Street. For info, just call 570-668-1192. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Robert W. Seltzer Jr. of Orwigsburg. Celebration of Life will be held Friday at 1 p.m. at the Faith Church. Friends may call Friday from noon to 1 p.m. The Hamilton Briner Funeral Home and Cremation Services is assisting the family. Raina Paulino of Hazelton. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Annunciation Parish at the Church of St. Gabriel. Friends may call Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. William R. McCartney Jr. of Jim Thorpe. Memorial is Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Christ Lutheran Church. Friends may call Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. The Melber Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. John M. Kuba Jr. of Hazel Township. Memorial is scheduled for January 14th at 11 a.m. at the Ward Family Church. The John J. Pustai Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Thomas Tomkevich of Sugarloaf Township. Services will be held privately at the convenience of the family and under the direction of the Harmon Funeral Home. Nicholas Stamatopoulos of Eagle Rock. Mass is Friday at 11 a.m. at the St. Joseph Roman Catholic Church in Shepton. Friends may call Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home is assisting the family. Rosemary E. Drob of McAdoo. Private services will be held at the convenience of the family and under the direction of the Damiano Funeral Home. Jason M. Card of Hazelton. Service is Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Full Gospel Fellowship Church. Friends may call Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. The Damiano Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. And Bernice S. Zelenak of Hazel Township. Funeral is Friday at 9:30 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m.
And finally tonight we end with a special story. Congratulations to Brittany Bogast and Brian Ziegler on the birth of their daughter Mackenzie Elaine Ziegler. Mackenzie was the first baby born in Schuylkill County in 2017. The couple is from Tremont. Little Mackenzie was born yesterday morning at 2:08 a.m. She weighed 5 pounds 12.7 ounces and was 20 inches long. The baby was born at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Schuylkill, South Jackson Street. This is the couple's first child. Congratulations from the SSPTV family to yours. Your new year is off to a beautiful start. Well, that's it for SSPTV News. Remember to check us out online. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.